You remember how to do this, you
Four
fucker?
weeks?
You fucking guy? Padded Room Radio is back on the air. My name is Darian. I am back for yet another week of horror movie talk and smells and sounds and things, feels, weird feelings you get listening to this show. I'm here for all of it, and I brought it to you again for another week. That's not all I brought. I also brought Buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
You're alive!
Yeah, I'm back.
What's going on, big fella?
Oh, man, it just feels good to be back.
It's been like a month and a half, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to send a search party out.
Yeah.
You all right? What are you up
to? Still working.
Yeah, just working, huh? That's all you
working
got?
a lot. Getting ready to get a van for my son.
Okay.
So we're in that process of it. We're actually getting a demo on Saturday when I have him.
Did he outgrow the previous van? Is that what happened? Because you had the one van.
Yeah. Well, that one. Well, it's a long story.
Okay.
But yeah, so
we need a new one. That's what you're saying. Okay.
One that we could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, I got you. I get it, man. That's cool. So with the lift and all that?
Yeah, so it's going to be, the one that we're looking at, it has a rear entry. So that way we can park in straight and then just bring them out. Because sometimes you get one of those side vans and some jackass parts right next to you,
and then
that
done.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I park far away, and still somebody will do that.
Of course.
But having a rear entry will definitely help.
Cool.
And that's what she said.
Yeah. Hey-o. Hey-o. Wow. Right on,
man.
Looking
forward to it. So they're going to drive it from California.
Okay.
Let us test it out, wheel them up there in it, make sure everything fits and all that stuff. And if it works and we're happy with it, then they drive the van back to California, and then we got to start going through all the paperwork.
That's cool.
If it doesn't work, well, then they'll give us more options, and we'll try again another couple weeks.
Different van, yeah. Very cool. Right on, man. That's good news.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty is not here, obviously. He's in Lost Wages.
Wow, yeah. Lost Wages.
I heard he's at the Twin Peaks down there having a great time, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. He goes down there like twice a month for work, for quote-unquote work.
Right. Got to work and play.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're working something, all right, you fucker. Right on, dude. Well, we got it's good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we got
good to be back.
We got a regular horror show to get into here, amigo. We got horror news, listener mail. We are about to crown a Terradome champion tonight, buddy.
Woo-hoo!
Tonight. But first, some horror news.
Yeah.
Horror news.
What do you got there, fella?
Couple words. Who knew?
Okay.
Scream 7, David Arquette is back into...
I knew. That's who knew.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, and apparently it's not just him either.
Yeah, who else?
There's a whole heap load of stuff going on. We got Nev Campbell is back.
Figured.
As Sydney. Courtney Cox as Gail.
Figured.
Matthew Lillard, Scott Foley, Mason Gooding, and Jasmine Savoy Brown also set to return.
Okay.
So we got all these people coming in and for some weird surprise.
I think it's either got to be a flashback sequence or some. If they're going to try to tell me he didn't die, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, I know. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I love Dewey, but he's probably the best part of the whole franchise.
Right.
But you can't kill him and then bring him back. But they did that with Kirby.
True.
So who gives a shit, man?
Yeah.
You're just going to pity. You know what? Never mind. I say good day, sir.
Good day.
Good day to you, Scream. How dare you? What else?
I still haven't watched the 6th one yet.
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it?
It's terrible. Well, don't get me started.
Okay. Have you watched any of the Dexter Resurrection?
I have not.
Well, Neil Patrick Harris is now going to guest star on it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I like him.
Happy Face trailer is out. It's a sinister Dennis Quaid that stars in this true crime serial killer series.
Okay, I'm into that.
I guess it's like based off a true story or something.
I'm familiar with
true life story.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the source material.
Yeah, inspired by the true life story of Melissa G. Moore, as well as the critically acclaimed Happy Face podcast from iHeart Podcast and more. Autobiography Shattered Silence, written by Moore with M. Bridget Cook. So basically, this is at 15. Moore discovered that her beloved father was a prolific serial killer known as Happy Face. As an adult, she has changed her name and guarded her secret while her father has been serving life in prison. Mm-hmm. Man, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine finding out that news?
I mean...
It wouldn't surprise you?
Well, hey, he actually did something. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I thought he just sat in a lazy boy all day. So it turns out he was actually, out doing something.
Yeah, Dad, get that shit-eating grin off your face.
What is that smell? God damn it. Right on, man.
Well, that's all I got. What do you got?
Oh, let's see here. Have you seen the movie Heart Eyes yet?
No, I saw the trailer. I almost saw it, but I did not.
Some kind of Valentine's Day themed slasher, from what I gather. I know Jason and Sarah saw it. I think they said it was all right.
Yeah?
They said it was all right.
Okay.
Anyway, available on VOD as we speak.
Already?
Yes. I got some big news for you.
Oh.
And I want you to try to contain your boner when I break this to you.
Too late.
Okay, well, you got to let me tell you the story before you whip it out, you son of a bitch. Amanda Seyfried. Teasing a Jennifer's Body sequel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You into that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm into it. Mm-hmm. Well, let's be honest here. Old Megan Fox ain't what she used to be.
No.
But
she's still popping them out, though, those movies.
Have you seen any of them?
Cassandra.
Is that any good?
I think it was Cassandra, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was one where she's like a robot.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Fairly recent, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, saw that one.
Any good?
I think that was Cassandra.
Was she hot in it?
Yeah, no nudity in it.
Well, I mean, there wasn't any in Jennifer's Body.
No.
But it was suggestive enough to make it spankable,
right.
I would say. I don't know, man. I'm interested. I'll check it out. I don't know if I'm going to... I got a feeling Machine Gun Kelly's going to pop up in there somewhere.
Think so?
And I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I'll play it by ear. I don't want to, cast any dispersions before anything actually happens. Mm-hmm. What else we got here? Have you seen a movie called The Andromeda Strain?
No.
Early 70s, I believe.
Okay.
It's like part of the sci-fi Bible. Basically, a space probe is brought back to Earth, and it's carrying a deadly virus. So a group of scientists quarantine themselves in this compound to try to figure out what it is before it breaks out and basically ends the world. It's pretty heavy stuff, but it's getting a 4K and UHD treatment from Arrow Video. Very cool. And lastly, it looks like Season 7 of The Last Drive-In is going to debut this Friday on Shudder. Joe Bob and Darcy.
Okay.
So I'm psyched for that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah,
they always show good movies, usually. Sometimes they show trash.
Yeah.
But, what do you expect? It's The Last Drive-In, dude.
That's right.
That's what I say.
All right.
Well, that's all we got on the horror news. How about some listener mail? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Listener mail.
Yeah, buddy. No emails this week, but we do have a couple of voicemails coming at us. Your microphone's not on. Sir. Come on, man. Act like you've done this before.
It's been a while.
A little rusty, are we?
Yeah.
Let's kick things off in Southern California. Here comes Mr. Tom Hardy.
Hey, Tom Hardy.
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo.
There he is.
Padded room. How's my my favorite degenerates this week.
What's up, big dog?
Do hope everyone is doing well. Hey,
we're okay.
Get in real quick. And, hey, Darian, you said that Return of the Living Dead was not based on real events.
It's true. It is not.
Where the fuck you get off with that, man? What makes you think that?
No way.
I mean,
I've
just
done
you don't
the
know
research.
about it doesn't mean it's not real, dude.
Okay.
That thing happened in fucking Kentucky, right?
Louisville, yeah.
When was the last time you got a phone call from there?
Oh.
From Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, shit.
Any of your good friends? Oh, yeah, man, I used to live in Louisville. No.
There are people in Louisville. I'm 99% sure of it. I could be wrong.
Dude, that place is all fucking nuclear.
Fallout?
It's fucking it's bombed out. Man.
Okay.
That's based on a real story, dude. Don't be spreading those fucking
My bad.
rumors saying it's
My
not
bad.
real. Hey, one other thing about Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
You were mentioning the whole naked graveyard dance scene there with Linnea Quigley.
Yeah.
The way I had heard it, or I don't remember, I wish I could tell you which documentary or whatever this came from, is that she had basically done kind of like a preview naked dance on the gravestone there.
Okay.
And the producers or whatever are like, man, you can't fucking show that. You can, see her pubic hair or whatever.
I didn't.
And so they were like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So they ended up she got, waxed down. And she did it again. He's like, "Oh fuck, absolutely, that's even worse."
Now we can see your tonsils.
That's the rumor or the story that I had heard in regards to that whole fucking thing. And then maybe that's why she had to put on like
some kind of cod piece,
prosthetic piece down below. But yeah, anyway,
that's a bummer.
Hey, on the fucking Terror Dome there for the championship.
I already got you down.
It's gonna be my man, the Maniac Cop, Matthew fucking Cordell.
Let's go.
Do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, fucking put me down for the Maniac Cop.
Gotcha.
On the what are you looking at department, I really didn't get to catch anything.
Okay.
Except I've been watching this series, Dead Boy Detective Agency.
Oh.
Watching it with the kids.
Netflix.
It's fair enough for the kids. It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. I actually kind of enjoyed it. It looks like it's just going to be a single season. They're not going to continue it, which
that's a bummer.
I don't know, good or bad. Good, like okay, fine. I don't have to fucking buckle in for 5, 6, 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Bad. It didn't give it much of an ending,
Oh.
but it was fun. It was enjoyable. It's based on what's the guy, Neil Gaiman, the Sandman guy.
Yeah.
Kind of based on some of his books or works or whatever. So.
Okay.
It's kind of that dark fantasy universe. If you're into it, it's fun. It's enjoyable. I'd recommend it. Anyway, that's all I got. Hope all is well. Love you
Love you too, Tom Hardy. GP'd.
GP'd at the end.
At the very end. He didn't bother calling back. I think we got the gist of it, though. Right on, Tom Hardy.
Thank you, Tom Hardy.
I've been working my way through Only Murders in the Building. Me and the family.
Yeah, how far did you get?
We're about halfway through season 4.
Okay.
How many seasons on that thing?
Well, they're still going.
Are they?
But I want to say what's out there is 4.
Okay.
But they are going to be doing a 5th one.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good for the family.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty funny, too.
It is.
Right on. Thanks for calling in, Tom Hardy. I got you down for the Maniac Cop, buddy. I got a feeling you're going to be the deciding vote.
Oh, boy.
Who do you think would win in a fight between Dracula and the Maniac Cop?
I'm going to go Maniac Cop. Why not?
All right. Put you down for the Maniac Cop. I'm gonna not say anything else. Right on, man. Here comes our big fella in Alabama. Alan's in the house.
Hey, Alan.
What's up? Oh, shut up. Anyway, let's see. Terror Dome, of course. Give me Dracula.
Yeah.
Mr. Darian, are you scared to death? That's the only one that's coming to mind.
Very close.
See, I love the original Dracula, even though it's very stagey and it's pretty much a play.
Yeah.
I think Bela Lugosi's one of my favorite Draculas.
Okay.
Christopher Lee ain't too shabby. Anyway, let's see. What did I watch? I watched Long Legs this week.
Oh, what'd you think?
I liked it. Kind of weird. It felt very A24-ish, but it wasn't. Felt a lot like an Osgood Perkins movie. I've seen that in Black Coat's Daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Like both of them, similar in feel. See what me, my wife, and the kids, we went and saw this band called Pele Royale. Really, really good show.
Okay.
Dig them a lot. Check them out. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Beautiful.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, Alan. Got you locked in there, big guy. Osgood Perkins. I like him. The Blackcoat's Daughter, one of my favorites. Also, Long Legs. You've seen Long Legs,
yeah.
right? Yeah, that's a good one, too. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Osgood Perkins. Will bore you to tears. Mm-hmm. It is probably the most just cringy. It's cringe to me because that chick just annoyed the piss out of me. Mm-hmm. And it's a good hour and a half of her walking around a quiet, empty house. Mm-hmm. Ah! Yeah! I heard good things about the monkey, though.
Yeah. I want to see it. I haven't seen that
that's
yet.
His also. So hopefully we got some more good stuff coming from him.
Yeah.
Right on, Alan. Thanks for calling in. And that is all we have on the listener mail, buddy.
Right.
You got anything for Alan or Tom Hardy?
Thank you for calling in.
Let's get into a movie, big dog.
Mm-hmm.
I am Dracula. A moment ago, I stumbled upon a most amazing phenomenon. Something so incredible, I mistrust my own judgment. Look.
Dracula. The very mention of the name brings to mind things so evil, so fantastic, so degrading. You wonder if it isn't all a dream, a nightmare.
Rats. Thousands. Millions of them.
But no, this is no dream. This is Dracula, the original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood, took the form of a vampire bat, and lured innocent girls to a fate truly worse than death.
Dracula? Oh, what's he done to you, dearie? Tell me.
He came to me. He opened a thing in his arm, and he made me drink.
Buddy, this is the original Dracula from 1931.
Yeah.
Starring Bela Lugosi, Ellen Chandler, and Dwight Fry. This one got 7.4 stars on IMDb, dude.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, buddy. This is the first screen. Well, technically not. This is the first in-name screen adaptation of Dracula. Mm-hmm. Technically, the first would be Nosferatu.
Right.
But that was basically a copyright infringement that they just had to change all the names on because Bram Stoker's widow wouldn't sign off on them using Dracula. Oh. So they basically just pirated the shit and called him Count Orlok instead. Yeah. Sleazy business dealings in German filmmaking in 1912 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Sleazy. You know the story, inmates, and you've probably seen this one. I know you have. Mm-hmm. It's a good show. We're in black and white. It's 1931 when this movie was made. So we are in a different time. We are pre-World War II, post-World War I. So there was like this weird golden age of Hollywood that just sat in there nicely. And then once World War II kicked in, then all the propaganda films started, and here comes John Wayne and all that. But for Universal horror, this is like the sweet spot. And this one was the one that pretty much started it all. We start off on a coach ride, amigo.
Yeah.
Going over the Borgo Pass. Headed into Transylvania. Now, in the book, we kind of skip a lot of this shit.
Right.
But it's fine. Because have you ever read the book? It'll take you a good 5 months. And you better have a fucking dictionary handy because they use a lot of verbiage and metaphorical talk that just does. It's hard to wrap your head around these days.
Okay.
It's something. But we're going to start off on the Borgo Pass. We got our man Renfield headed to Castle Dracula. He's been sent from London. He's a real estate agent, sort of. And he is brokering the deal of the Count purchasing some land in London. He's buying Carfax Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what exactly is an abbey? Do you know?
Nope.
Me neither. I believe it's some kind of a church or monastery or something like that. It's a big building, I believe. It's not quite a castle, but it's castle-esque, castle-adjacent in some way. I don't know. Renfield, played by Dwight Fry, is just a I don't think there's an ounce of testosterone in this young man at all. He has wonderful hair, and via 1930s cinematography, he does look a lot like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
He's got back then, if you were going to be on film, they had to basically cake you in white powder and put guy liner on you, and sometimes black out your lips a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the point of that was, but that's just what they did.
Yeah, maybe it was just trying to make it look right on camera.
Sure. Did it work?
Because look at I think they did the same thing with Munsters, like painted the Frankenstein's face like all green.
And then like guy linered him up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a thing. But he looks a lot like Pee Wee Herman. He's going over the Borgo Pass, and the carriage driver's like, "Hey, dude, this is Bob. I'm going to take you to this village up here, and then if you want to go the rest of the way to Castle Dracula, I'll take you in the morning." And Renfield's like, "No, dude, I paid you to take me up there tonight, and let's get that going." We are in a village full of magnificent mustaches, by the way. They are all hanging out, and they're like the big kind that come all the way down into your mouth. It's kind of gross, actually.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat chicken wings with that guy, that's for sure. And all the villagers are like, "What? You go to Castle Dracula?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I got some business to do up there. The Count's expecting, he is vampire. You don't go at night. Look, the sun sets now. We best get inside." And finally, Renfield's like, "Bro, I fucking paid you for this. Let's go." So the carriage driver's like, "Okay, I'm only going to take you to this fork in the road up here. After that, I don't know, whatever, dude. Maybe the Count will come down and pick you up or something." Mm-hmm. So off he goes into the carriage ride again. Carriage driver's going like Mach 10 trying to get up to this fork in the road.
Yeah.
Gets up there. Poor Renfield's in the back bouncing around like a popcorn kernel. Gets up there, throws Renfield's luggage out.
That was pretty good.
Well, you're not getting a tip from me, asswipe.
No.
Fucking jerk. And then there's another carriage there waiting for him, which is clearly being driven by Bela Lugosi.
Mm-hmm.
He's all bundled up and he's got his hat on. But before that, we get a very cool shot of the castle crypt and Bela and his brides coming out of their coffins.
Mm-hmm.
The crypt looks pretty nice. The set design on this thing is
great.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like you'd expect the underneath of a castle to look.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all catacombs and weird archways, and just 4 random coffins in the middle of it all. And out they come. We get to see the 3 brides. They're fairly attractive, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not 1992 Monica Bellucci attractive, like with their boobs hanging out and stuff, but they'll do for 1931.
Yeah.
Bela pops out, and we get that iconic moment where he just kind of stares at the camera for a minute, and this is pretty gnarly, because the whole set is just dead silent, and it's just him in this castle crypt, looking dressed to the nines, hair slicked back tight, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get your hair to lay down that flat.
A lot of grease.
A lot. You got to like fall asleep under a car or something, you know?
Yeah.
Almost looks like it's tattooed on there or something. And he just kind of creepily staring at the camera for a second or two, and then the brides come out behind him, and it's pretty sweet. Then we go pick up Renfield. Renfield, again, is getting his ass kicked in the back of the carriage. At some point, he's going, "Fucking, can we slow down, bro? Because really, you're going to break a rib or something back here." And he peeps out to look at the driver, and it's just a bat flying in front of the carriage horses.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, oh, fuck. I guess I'm just going to wait and try to put a crash helmet on or something.
Right.
And it's cool because like you kind of get to see where he's going for a second. It's like this weird cliff kind of pathway, but then there's like sheer cliff on one side and a straight drop on the other. So there's pretty high potential for disaster striking here. Luckily, Renfield gets to the castle, and he gets out, and he's like, hey, look, driver. Driver's completely gone, just vanished. And then the castle door creaks open, so Renfield goes in. The interior of this castle is even more gnarly. You got this giant fucking staircase, cobwebs everywhere. This is like the set design for every creature feature host ever. Every strip mall haunted attraction that's ever been made. I think this is probably what started the whole haunted castle like idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's really gnarly. Just broken boxes and cobwebs. Down the stairs comes the Count, and he is just as creepy as he ever was. Looks good, though. It's Bela Lugosi, and he's like, hey, I bid you welcome. And, like, Renfield's like, yeah, you must be the Count? And he's like, looking around like, you fucking live here, bro? Because this is like, I'm pretty sure you're just squatting here, is what's really going on.
I think you need a maid.
There's something. Yeah, tidy the place up. Were you not expecting company? I told you I was coming. But Bella's like, come, I show you to your room. So they go up the stairs. He's got to, like, traverse this jungle of cobwebs. Eventually, he gets to his room where Bella gets him situated. He's got some food laid out for him, but Bella plays this role of just, like, such a fucking creeper that he's just kind of, like, constantly, like, eyeballing Renfield. And Renfield's like, oh, thanks for the food. And he's like, you're welcome. He just stares at him, and Renfield's eating, and he's like, aren't you going to have some food? And he's like, no. And he keeps just staring at him. Eventually, Renfield's like, yeah, tell you what, why don't we put dinner on hold here? Let me get you to sign this shit, and I will get the fuck out of here as fast as I possibly fucking can, you creepo. Dracula's like, yes, let's get the paper signed so that I can own Carfax Abbey. Renfield's like, yeah, right here, sign here, 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 and here. Bella signs all the papers. Dracula's good to go. Finally, he's like, okay, I bid you good night. You'll sleep and you can go in the morning. And so Dracula takes off. Now, this room that Renfield is in, it's kind of like a big studio apartment in a way. He's got like his little dining area, and then the bed is right off to the side, but he's got these big bay windows that open up into, I guess, like a patio or some kind of a balcony, something like that. It's foggy as fuck. This whole movie is foggy as fuck the whole time. That's fine. Renfield like opens up the bay windows, and he steps out on the balcony for a second, thinking, very creepy. And in comes this bat. It's like flapping around for a second or two, and Renfield just faints. Fucking pussy.
He must never seen a bat before.
I don't think he's seen anything fly before.
Yeah.
Was that us in the air? About that time, like, the three brides come in, and they're coming in to, like, you know, obviously eat Renfield, but then Dracula steps off of the balcony, presumably as if to say that he was the bat and now he's back in human form, and he, like, waves off the bride, and then he goes in for a bite of Renfield. Now, whenever Bella goes in to, like, actually bite somebody, he does, like, tickle hands.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do to my kids. I'm like, I'm gonna get you. But he does it real slow and even creepy, because now it's like, okay. Yeah, you
Pervert.
don't... Yeah. I don't know what you have in mind, but you're not touching me there,
yeah.
old timer. So now we're going to cut to, I don't know, a couple weeks later. We are now on... Now, at this point, everything's cool. Renfield has been made a crazy guy. He doesn't have, like, any powers or anything. I would assume that he was bit by Bella, and somehow enslaved, I guess, and just made into this fucking crazy dude. Mm-hmm. So now we are on board the Vesta, and we are headed to London. It's a ship. Now, this movie has been made 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Stage productions, the book itself, obviously. You have Dracula Untold, Renfield with Nicolas Cage, Last Voyage of the Demeter. What I'm getting at is in every single other iteration of this movie or book, the ship has been named the Demeter.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever the fuck reason, we're going with Vesta this time.
I know. I was shocked by that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going with the Vesta.
Sounds like a car.
It sounds like one of those little moped.
Oh, yeah.
Vespas.
Vespas, yeah. There you go.
That would be stupid. They take a Vespa from Transylvania to London. Renfield, stop complaining. I'm cold, master. So they're on the Vesta, and we get a little... This is just a little side story for the purposes of this movie. Renfield is batshit crazy. He's got the Count in his coffin on the ship's cargo bay. Big storm, ship's getting the shit kicked out of it on the ocean. Dracula pops out and basically slaughters the crew and the captain and ties the body of the captain to the steering wheel of the ship. Luckily, the ship, as now a ghost ship, kind of makes its way into London Harbor, where there's a whole police situation, and they find Renfield in the cargo hold, and he's just doing this. They pop open the cargo hold, and Renfield's just there staring up at him like a fucking psycho, buddy. Mm-hmm. That's a creepy dude with this big shit-eating grin.
Yeah. That's where Smile came from.
Yeah. They should have called that movie Shit-Eating Grin.
Yeah.
It's the Shit-Eating Grin demon, goddammit.
No, because then they think they eat shit.
Yeah. Well, I guess that those scenes got cut out of the movie.
Right.
Ew. So they get they don't think that Renfield killed the crew, but he is clearly a lunatic. So they take him to the mental asylum there in London. It's run by a guy named Dr. Seward. We'll get back to him in a minute. In the meantime, we get a cool little situation where Dracula gets off the boat. He's got his top hat on. And I guess there's a chick on the dock selling boutonnieres or something, little flowers. Mm-hmm. And he attacks her and kills her, too.
Yeah.
Now, the word vampire is used in this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's assumed that Count Dracula is a vampire. He never has any fangs. And we don't have... Other than doing the tickle fingers, he never really attacks anybody.
Yeah.
He does hypnotize people.
The glaze.
He does the crazy Lugosi eyes, the hypnotic glance or whatever it is. So that's cool, but no fangs, no real violence, and no gore at all. But that's okay. Dracula makes his way to a theater, like a opera house, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to meet our protagonists. We've got Jonathan Harker, his girlfriend, Mina, her best friend, Lucy, and for the purposes of this movie, Lucy's father, who is Dr. Seward. Not this way in the book or in other iterations of the movie, but it's fine. Dracula goes in there and he hypnotizes the ticket girl, and he has her go in and distract Dr. Seward by saying he has a phone call at the front desk or whatever. So she goes in. You can tell she's hypnotized. She's like, Dr. Seward, you are needed at the front desk. There is an urgent call for you. So up pops Seward as he's walking out of his little viewing balcony booth. He bumps into Dracula, and Dracula's like, oh, Dr. Seward, I hear we are to be neighbors. So what we find out through this conversation is that Carfax Abbey is right next to Seward's sanitarium, and that's pretty cool. And then he is introduced to Jonathan Harker, Mina, and Lucy. Now you can tell right from the introduction that Lucy is sopping wet for some vampire Transylvanian Count penis.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, she just starts rattling off this weird poem about dead things, completely out of context.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
like, where did that come from?
Yeah, he's like, I don't plan to make any repairs to Carfax Abbey. It reminds me of my home. And she's like, dead things are so beautiful. Oh, you're so fancy. Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow. I need to start slicking my hair back, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Like skin tight back.
I've got cobwebs down below.
Ew! Oh, he's so mysterious. Yeah. Very cool. Now, in various other iterations of the book and of the movie, there is like a kind of a adversarial relationship between Harker and Dracula. For the most part, it's just completely glanced over in this one. That's fine. We got to take some liberties. And I should also mention that this movie is only about an hour and 6 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So for the size of the book, we had to cut a lot out to make it squeeze into an hour. Mm-hmm. All right. So there's Lucy, there's Mina, there's Dr. Seward. Everything's cool. From there, they watch their show. Dracula goes back to Carfax Abbey that night while everybody's going to sleep. Okay, so apparently Dr. Seward and Mina, or Dr. Seward and Lucy, actually live at the sanitarium. They have like a house like on top of it or adjacent to it somehow. And the reason I say that is because apparently when Renfield, everybody goes to bed at night, Renfield is just let out to roam. Or he escapes, or I don't know.
That was really weird.
Yeah, he just kind of shows up randomly. Yeah. Hey, I'm over here. What are you doing? Get
back in.
You're supposed to be in a crazy cell. Mm-hmm. Get your fucking ass in there. What are you doing? Hey, now I'm in the living room. What are you doing in my house? Get the fuck out of here anyway. For the most part, he's harmless, except he likes to capture spiders, and he freaks right out if the orderly throws it out the window.
Yeah. He likes to eat them.
Yeah, it's we don't get to see him do that, but it is mentioned, and it's mentioned a lot more in other movies. So he's out looking for spiders and shit. Lucy is sound asleep. She gets the bat treatment coming through the window, and poof, here comes Dracula, and he puts the tickle fingers on her, and then
Gucci goo.
Here I come. Let me see what's under that nightgown. Very scary. Next day, she wakes up and she's all weak, and what the hell's going on with her? We just got to kind of shoot past that because pretty soon we're going to jump, I believe, to her autopsy, or I don't know if it was I think they were going to give her a blood transfusion, but she's in one of those old school surgical theater situations where there's like two doctors working on her and a bunch of random dudes set up in bleachers around them.
Yeah.
But they're like, she just had a transfusion and she's already low on blood again. What the fuck? There's no blood stains. Where's all the blood going? And then they look at her neck and they see the two puncture wounds. So Dr. Seward is like, this is my daughter and she's probably going to die in the next couple hours. Let me call my boss or the guy who taught me everything and see if he knows anything about it. In comes Professor Van Helsing.
Van Helsing?
Van Helsing. He's a for the purposes of this movie, he's a crotchety old guy. He is definitely not Anthony Hopkins or Peter Cushing, although they're both kind of crotchety old guys too, now that I think about it. He's like, well, Dr. Seward, I see you've got a daughter with no blood. And then, again, we're just going to shoot past this to sometime after her funeral. So we have to assume that Lucy has died. And that's unfortunate, but Dr. Seward doesn't seem all that broken up about it. Now we're having like a sit down with Harker and Dr. Seward and Van Helsing in Van Helsing's office, and in pops Dracula. And he's like, hello, I was just coming to say how you're doing now that we're neighbors. And this part is kind of silly. Because, Seward's being nice, and he's like, oh, let me introduce you. Remember Harker, and this is my old mentor, Professor Van Helsing, and for a second there, we get like a Van Helsing. Your name is known in the wilds of Europe. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty creepy. And while he's walking around, there's like a mirror, and Van Helsing notices that Dracula doesn't cast a reflection. So Van Helsing, being the clever prick that he is, he's like, I just noticed something a little weird. I was wondering if you could help me with something, Count, real quick. He's got like a music box with the mirror in it. And he's like, just take a look in here, tell me what you see. And he opens up the music box, and Dracula slaps it out of his hands. Get that fucking thing out of my face. And then Van Helsing is like, whoa, dude! And then Dracula takes like 3 steps back, and then we get like this uncomfortable standoff of, oh, he knows. But now he knows I know. And now I know that he knows I know.
Yeah.
And they just kind of stare at each other for a minute, and then and then Dracula's like, forgive me. We do not have mirrors in Transylvania. I was taken aback by the sight of myself. And Van Helsing's like, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. Pretty creepy. And then Dracula takes off. After that, Van Helsing's like, oh yeah, bros. What we got on our hands here is a fucking vampire, and he has bit and, probably turned Lucy into something, and he's not going to stop until we're all fucking dead. So we got to nip this thing in the bud. All right, that's a real pipper. From there, we get, like, after Dracula leaves, like, a little while later, they're having another meeting, and basically Van Helsing is trying to convince Seward and Harker that vampires are real, and they're like, come on, you fucking shitbird. At one point, though, of course, Renfield just pops up in the office. He's like hiding behind a couch or something. Are you talking about the master? And Van Helsing pulls some wolfsbane out of like a coat pocket. Freaks Renfield right out. He's like, get that away! Ah! And then afterwards he explains that like it's a rare plant that's found growing in the middle of Europe. And it's like folklorically, it's supposed to ward off vampires and evil spirits. Very odd that Renfield would have such an aversive reaction to it. He's probably not well versed in Central European folklore, so very strange indeed. Renfield's just freaking right out, and now they got to take him back to his cell. Okay. Everything's cool, man.
His unlocked door cell.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of like his room.
Yeah.
It's just you go in there. Just stay in there, please. That night, everything. Well, actually, a couple nights later, this whole thing takes place over quite some time. Mina is asleep in her room, and here comes the bat. In goes Bella, puts the tickle fingers on her. Now she wakes up and she's all pale and she's all fucked up. Basically, what we're getting at here is that Dracula is turning these 2 young ladies into vampires. Now we're getting reports of a mysterious lady in white who's up and walking around the cemetery at night and possibly attacking people. We know that it's Lucy, but then it's kind of weird because, hey, vampires don't exist, but then who the hell is doing this? Funny that we just buried my daughter who may or may not have been attacked by a vampire. Right. So now we have a mysterious lady in white hanging around the cemetery attacking people. All right, so first thing they got to do is go check out Lucy. Dig her up. Fucking A, she's a vampire. Got to drive the stake into her heart. Okay, now we know this is a real thing. We got to get to Dracula. Now, Mina is showing vampire-like symptoms. She first off, she's enamored with Count Dracula. He shows up, and you can just hear the drip, drip, drip underneath her chair. She's like, Dracula's here. I can hear him. I can feel him. Oh! Harker's like...
Bring those tickle fingers over here.
Exactly right. Harker's like, I'm sitting right here. Hello? There, Mina. Remember me? Your boyfriend or whatever? I think you just got friend-zoned, fuckface. Sorry. Here comes the bat. Now we get like a confrontation between Van Helsing and Dracula. Van Helsing's like, I know what you are, and I know what you're doing to these young ladies, and it's going to stop, sir. And he's like, come here. He's trying to hypnotize Van Helsing. Van Helsing starts to go over there, and then he just kind of backs off. Like, somehow he's not hypnotizable.
The force is strong.
I think he's partially deaf in one ear and he can't hear.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to go over there, or go there, or over here? I don't know. So they kind of do this retarded little dance for a second, and then eventually Dracula's like, "Well, fuck you then." And he takes off. And then to make a very silly, a very long story kind of short. Basically, Harker, Seward, and Van Helsing go to Carfax Abbey during the day. They slaughter the three brides, and you don't really get to see it. You just hear them cracking open the coffin, and then you hear the thunk, 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 and then, ah! And then they find Dracula's coffin, and you hear them crack that open, and thunk, 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 and then... apparently, for the purposes of this movie, if you kill sometimes this happens in vampire movies where if you kill the head vampire, any half vampires revert back to being full human, and then Harker and Mina go walking up the stairs into the daylight, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. This is a very condensed version of a very long story, my friend.
Yes.
It's a good show. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a very Halloween, family-friendly show, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
A lot. You get yourself a lot of Bella staring at the camera and making weird faces.
Yeah,
like a
the opposite of raccoon eyes, or maybe it is raccoon eyes. Like the lighting was just over his eyes.
Yeah, so it's like almost like he's wearing a ninja mask in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know? Like you just get that intense stare, and then you don't really get to see the rest of his face. And then chicks' panties just fall off.
Yeah.
And they'll do whatever they'll do it. What are they going to do? Put the tickle fingers on them, drink their blood.
Yep.
You know, attack your husband, whatever you want. I'm down. It's good times. It's a classic. Like I said earlier, this kind of kickstarted the Universal Monster, not universe, unfortunately, but the fad, I guess, the marketing extravaganza that became the Universal Monsters and really kickstarted Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. They'd been making movies prior to this, but up to 1931, they were making mainly westerns and a few odd gangster movies, which were profitable at the time, but they needed something else to keep the ball rolling, and this just gave them a shot of steroids.
Yeah.
Also launched Bella's career. After this, he was given the role of Frankenstein's monster.
How cool is that?
It was pretty cool. Unfortunately, he later there was a couple of screen tests that were made, but he later refused to play the role because it wasn't a speaking part. It was just him kind of lumbering around doing, being a monster. He was addicted to morphine at the time also. I mean, throughout his whole life, pretty much. He fought in World War I and received some kind of a leg injury, which really didn't cripple him, but left him in a lot of pain. So he relied heavily on morphine to get him through, and that habit just kept snowballing, so it got worse and worse. And towards the end, he was doing things like Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is not very good. So that was Dracula. I have the box set around here somewhere. That's where I watched it. Where'd you watch? I think it's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
YouTube is the place to be. If nothing else, inmates, check it out for the set designs.
Yeah.
These castles,
really cool.
Castles and dungeons and catacombs and all that fun shit. Even the cargo hold of the ship, I thought was pretty sweet.
I thought it was funny when, towards the beginning, when he walks into the castle and shows them it. He glides through the cobwebs, and so Renfield, when he goes up, there's what the hell?
Shit! I'm stuck! Get me out of here! Give me a machete! I'll cut my way out. It is a pretty good. There's a lot of cobwebs, dude.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. He tries to make it make sense, the spiders, they eat the flies, and the flies get caught in the web. Like some circle of life shit. No, you're just lazy there, Count. You don't want to. Right? You don't want to tidy the place up. And these are my fast food wrappers. They signify chicken McNuggets that I have eaten 3 weeks ago. Get the fuck out of here, you lazy shit. All right, man. That was Dracula. Highly recommend it. Let's take us a little break, and we'll come back to the Terradome.
Oh, yeah.
Hey inmates, if you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. You know what else? I mean, we're doing Bela Lugosi this month. And I think naturally all these movies are going to be in black and white, although you can find some very shittily colored fucking colorizations.
Like remastered?
Yeah.
Okay.
They look gross, though. Like
I'm sure they do. It was meant for black and white.
Yeah, everything's like all pastel-y and foggy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just stick to the black and white. But I think this month we're going to find ourselves in a very Gothic place.
Okay.
Like with just just being in black and white, really, the shades of gray. So, and like getting into the castles and the look and the art of the time, things like that.
Yeah.
It's going to get a little depressing there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm going to play AFI all month. All right, my man, you ready to get into the Terradome?
Hell yeah.
We got a champion to crown.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'll leave it where you are. My worst dream come true.
6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Welcome to the Terradome.
For the championship, we had Dracula versus the Maniac Cop. Dock workers fled the scene as the port warehouse was engulfed in flames. Inside, the two monsters battled on, both receiving grievous injuries and fierce burns. As the sun rose over the harbor, the building's eastern wall gave out and collapsed. The Count found himself exposed to the deadly sunlight and quickly evaporated into fine ash. Matthew Cordell's body was never recovered. With a vote of 4-3, buddy!
Yeah?
You were the deciding vote! Matthew Cordell is the 2025 Terradome champion.
All right.
The Maniac Cop finally wins one.
Finally.
I don't know why he hasn't won one years ago. He's bad. Have you ever seen the Maniac Cop movies? They're great.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Third one's a little wacky. Then we get into, like, Bride of Maniac Cop territory.
Yeah.
But the first two were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. There it is, inmates. We will start the Terradome again in June. We're going to have to come up with some other segments to fill that area in the meantime. Maybe bring the meat hook back. Maybe, I don't know, play a round of Parcheesi. We'll just play Parcheesi on the show. I don't even know. What is that, a card game?
I don't know.
You don't know either. We'll do, what is that? Pogs? Remember Pogs?
No.
The little bottle cap things, dude. Try to flick them into the...
Oh, that's right.
All right, never mind. I need to stop talking.
Pocket pool.
Well, can we use your pockets?
Again?
There it is, inmates. The Maniac Cop. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for the Terradome.
Hell yeah.
Your votes, obviously, are very, very much appreciated. I don't know, maybe we'll try something else this year.
Yeah?
We could do
a different type of Terradome?
We could go to teams, or maybe we could go, like, horror heroes. Like, yeah, maybe like Final Girls and, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. But I got till June to figure it out. If anybody out there has any suggestions about this next year's Terradome, paddedroompodcast.com. Just hit the mail link there. Or give us a call on the mental health hotline, area code 775-387-0275. In the meantime, we got to tell you what movies we got to watch this week, or in Buddy's case, the last 7 weeks. A little segment called What Are You Looking At?
What are you looking at?
I watched Blade from 1998, the Wesley Snipes Marvel comic adaptation. I think I forgot that that's a 2-hour movie, man.
Damn.
It's a full 2 hours. And most of it is just Blade kicking the shit out of random vampires, which is fine. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's it fits into that post-Matrix era where they could do all those slow-motion kick flips and all that. So that's good. They dabbled a little bit in the CGI. I don't know that it worked out very well for them. I mean, watching
back then,
watching it now, it looks like you're watching a PS2 cutscene or something.
Oh, okay.
It's still a good show. Watched that. I watched Blade 2 from 2002. This one was more of a horror movie.
Yeah.
This was the crackhead vampires when their face would split open. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's got Norman Reedus in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He plays Blade's traitorous sidekick. So I have a question, buddy. If you and I were a comic book, would Norman read us? Hey-oh! I did it again! I did it again, you motherfuckers! Go fuck yourselves! I watched that, and then I watched a very interesting movie called The Dead Thing on Shudder. Have you heard of this one?
No.
It's basically, in concept, a ghost is haunting a dating app. It sounds ridiculous, but I mean, they don't really try to make it make sense other than it just is.
Okay.
So this chick hooks up with a guy on a dating app, takes him home, bangs him, of course, falls in love with him. He literally ghosts her. He just kind of vanishes. So she's like, trying to track him down. Where does he work? What's going on? She goes to he mentioned working on their one date, and we find out that he died like 4 months ago. And she's like, that's crazy. I just had sex with a guy. So she okay, this is some elaborate ruse to get rid of me. So she goes back on the dating app and starts hooking up with other guys. Then she goes to the bar and she sees the first guy hooked up with another chick. So she's like, what's this all about?
Right.
So then she's like, okay, well, let me go back on the dating app. I'll set up another Tinder date with him, or at least try to contact him that way. So she goes and meets him again, and he completely has forgotten all about her, and he's acting like it. He's basically doing the exact same thing he did on their first date.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets even worse. It's not a bad show. It's interesting. The idea, if you had told me up front that it was about a ghost haunting a dating app, I probably would have just
tuned it out.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. But I think it was actually done pretty well.
Okay.
And that's all I'm looking at, Big Dog. What do you got?
I was able to finish the Preacher series. So Preacher series 2 to 4.
Very cool.
Seasons 2 to 4. Rebel Ridge. Chaos series.
What is Rebel Ridge? Oh, is that Star Wars thing?
No, it was something else. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
The Chaos series, it's like the gods.
Okay.
Cassandra. So I was thinking this was the Megan Fox one. That was actually Subservience. So Cassandra is another robot home film where the robot turns on the family. That kind of deal.
It happens.
Influencer. Yellow Jackets season 1. Finally finished that season.
I heard everybody's telling me I need to get on the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, it's definitely really good.
Okay.
Yeah, can't wait to start season 2.
Nice.
And then there's a little short called Disco Inferno. A little short, little deal. It's all right.
How long was it?
9 minutes.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I like watching all those like horror shorts.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
usually. Sometimes they're stupid.
Yeah, sometimes they're stupid.
Right on. That's all you got? Let's do a little immersion therapy, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Immersion therapy.
What did you think of Little Bites there, big fella?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Not bad, huh?
Yeah, not too bad.
The Spider One is turning out to be quite the horror director.
Yeah.
I know you saw Allegoria. Did you ever see Bury the Bride?
I don't think so.
Okay. That one's pretty good, too. I feel like there's something I'm missing here with this one, though. This is a long movie. It's like 2 hours long. I get the concept. What I don't fully understand is the ending. Are we saying that
they were
those?
Yes.
Okay, then what the hell were they doing? Then why are they... What was that her father? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. I feel like I need to watch it.
I'm alluded to the father, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think it could have been.
Maybe they didn't
know. I think also the grandma knew.
Right.
As like, oh, look, if you take her daughter back, this will unravel the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I think she's under the impression that the mom is on drugs of some kind. Like, it kind of, get your shit together, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And then...
I don't know. I kind of think she knew.
I think I need to watch it again. That's another 2-hour movie.
Yeah, it's slow.
It is. It's very slow. And it's a lot of weird, like, conversations with the thing in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show, though, I would say. Basically what you have... I'm not going to spoil this for you, inmates, but you have a single mom who has a monster living in her basement who is slowly eating her. And she has sent her daughter away to live with her mother while she tries to find a way to get rid of the monster, is what I gathered. And there's some twists and turns on the way. And Heather Langenkamp shows up for a few minutes. Barbara Crampton's in there for a few minutes. Funny that. Those two, their careers started about the same time when they were about the same age. Heather Langenkamp has not aged well, my friend.
No.
Barbara Crampton, I'll have sex with.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. I'll do it right now if she's interested. If she's... Barbara, if you're interested, I'm here for you.
One part I didn't understand in the film was the whole playground thing where it looked like she had the same markings.
See? I don't know.
And I was a little lost in that one. I almost rewound it. I'm like, no, I don't want to rewind it.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait a minute, who's she?
Yeah.
Was she a victim?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. But she was just like a random person.
Yeah, random person at the park.
Yeah, that was Heather Langenkamp. It's weird. Right on. It's definitely worth a watch. I think I'm going to have to maybe actually pay attention next time I watch it and see if I can figure this out. Buddy, what do you got for us this week, big dog?
All right, this week let's check out 1962's Carnival of Souls. This is after a traumatic accident, a woman becomes drawn to a mysterious abandoned carnival. And you'll find this gem on Shudder, Freevee, Max, Plex, Pluto, Prime, Tubi, and much more.
It's public domain, so you can pretty much find it anywhere you find any other movie. And if not, it's on YouTube for sure. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah.
Right on, inmates. Check that shit out. We'll do the same and compare notes next week. But now it is time for you to educate us.
Who is Daddy?
First, my clues from last week. I am a local mortician. A lot of people accuse me of black magic, though. I have a little dwarf that is my assistant, and I live in a very creepy old house. A group of traveling artists, I think they're a band, or they might be, for the purposes of this movie, they might be playing a basketball team. I don't know. Their car breaks down, and they have to stay at my house. This is a perfect opportunity for me to scare the living piss out of them. Also, they're going to scare the shit out of each other, too. It's going to be mostly comedy. Actually, it's all comedy now that I think about it. I am, of course, Spooks Run Wild, starring Bela Lugosi also. This was later in his career when he was kind of a gimmicky kind of an act. So it's a fun movie.
Okay.
It's a funny thing.
I have not seen this one.
It goes, I think Alan may have actually, there's a number of different titles for this one that this was released under. And speaking of shitty colorizations, this one is about as bad as it gets.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really bad. Who might I be this week, you ask? Well, I am about to introduce my fiancé to my family for the first time. It's Thanksgiving, and we're all gathering at Mom and Dad's house. I really hate most of my siblings. One of them is a prick, and he's got a trophy wife. Another one is a real scumbag, and he, I don't know, he's just a loser, and he's just coming around my parents for money. My sister is here. She brought her film director boyfriend. I really hope that, no home invaders show up in the middle of this thing. I really hope there's no home invaders already in the house, and they were here before we got here, because, but if there are any home invaders and they kill off my family, then I will stand to make quite a bit of money there, buddy. Yeah, ha-ha. Who might I be, you ask? Tune in next week and I'll drop some knowledge on you, inmates. In the meantime, I think that's about going to do it for us. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Join us next week for White Zombie here in the Padded Room. Continuing Bela Lugosi month. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, wherever you found this show. That helps our visibility quite a bit. We do have a Patreon campaign running, if anybody gives a shit. I got shirts, hats, mugs, whatever you need. Just head over to paddedroompodcast.com. You'll find all the links and all the fun stuff over there. Other than that, I think that's about it for us, buddy. You got anything else?
No.
Alrighty, for Dusty and Absentia.
Tickle Fingers, Vampire Counts, and the creepy catacombs that they sleep in. Fucking Megan Fox's thumbs. What's up with what's the deal? Big toe thumbs.
Can you not get thumb reduction surgery? You're Megan Fox. You're arguably one of the most attractive women in the world. You're walking around with club thumbs. Get the fuck out of here with that. Club thumbs and the Padded Room podcast. I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Bye and have a great week.